for joining us for another episode of Poopology. And today we have two more guests with us who are here to give us their 101 pet peeves. Mm-hmm. Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Hello, I'm Matthew.
And hello, I'm Ray.
Thank you for joining us today, gents. So, who wants to go first?
Oh, do you know what? I'll start.
So, Matthew, what's your pet peeve?
So, one of my biggest pet peeves is football talk at work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, elaborate.
So, I am obviously, of course, for anyone being passionate about sport or about films or about theatre, but there is just something about this bizarre thing when you're at work and that there's this incessant need for a group of people, a lot of people to talk about, not talk about sport, but it's about football.
Football specifically.
Yeah, it is. I mean, no one seems to talk as much as in-depthly about cricket.
That's true. Well, actually, in this office, we've got quite a lot of cricket fans, probably more so than football fans.
Oh, you're so lucky.
There is a lot of cricket talk around here. But that might be my pet peeve, actually. Too much cricket talk in the office.
For me, yeah. So I just seem to find and pick the workplaces that just seem to have people that just love to talk about football. And we've all had those emails where you get the email about joining the fantasy league.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think the pet peeve for me, where it comes into play, is I don't think if you've ever been stuck, so you've sat down and it's your lunch break and you're just really looking forward to having a lunch, and then all of a sudden you get a group of people sit next to you and you think, brilliant. And guess what they talk about?
Foosball. Is this like a Monday morning or Monday lunchtime?
Do you know what? It's often a Monday.
After the weekend's games.
It's obviously the Premiership, football talk. But then it goes into everything. And if you've ever been around when it's transfer season,
right,
and you're around those sort of, people that are really into football.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know much about football, so I just shut off. I don't know what transfer season is. I don't know what anything is. So
I know nothing.
If I hear people talking about football, I'm just like,
this
little voice comes on in my head, and
I went to football once, and I asked my friend.
I did football once.
I did. I went to the football. And I asked my friend what time the interval was, and he looked at me with disgust and didn't talk to me for the rest of the day.
Oh, is there no intervals?
Apparently it's called half time. I thought it was called the interval. I know nothing about it.
I know that it's called
I was just about to say, I'm shocked that you know that. Why would you
one
know
of us
that?
does.
It might be because of Dad and his fanatic football watching.
Oh yeah, he was pretty crazy.
I have an interesting statistic for you,
okay,
which I think you're going to find shocking and good. So, looking at productivity in the workplace and to do with fantasy football, etc. And
don't say fantasy football increases productivity.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So,
there.
fantasy football freaks could cost US employees close to a whopping $17 billion in loss of productivity for one season, and that's just in the US.
Oh my God, that's crazy, isn't it?
I know.
That's crazy.
Well, just think of all the time they sit there going, "Oh, that player and that player and that player." I don't get fantasy football.
No.
I don't either.
Well, I don't even get real football.
I thought Emil Heskey was a Russian ballerina, so I had no idea.
I don't even know who that is.
That was my fantasy football experience. Was in an office place once, and everyone was absolutely nuts about it, and they were chucking names around, and I was just thinking, I literally have no idea.
Yeah.
Is fantasy football? Sorry. I don't know what it is.
I think you might be asking the wrong people.
Fantasy football is where you get into a group. It's like an online digital game where you are, say, a group of us here, and we all choose the players that we want to be in our fantasy team.
It's like the dream team.
Like a dream team.
Oh, but actual players. So every time they kick the ball or
they score,
get it in the hole and all that kind of stuff, and score and roll around on the floor and dive and all that kind of stuff, you get points.
Oh wow!
And then those points, and then if you win,
it's basically the Street Fighter of
it's pretty much
the football.
Yeah,
but
it's like football bingo.
Yeah.
As well.
So you have to watch like every single game that all your team is in.
I reckon the loneliest person in the office watches every single game and does the tally and says at the end of the week, this is who's doing well, who's not.
And you can be the foosball champion.
I'd actually quite like to win it. I wouldn't want to take part, like most things. But yeah, I mean, it's a good concept if you're into it.
God.
But to Matthew's point, if you're going to talk about it on a Monday lunchtime...
And cost businesses 17 billion.
17 billion.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, how about your pet peeve?
Mine is the concept of enforced fun.
Oh,
Enforced fun.
Yeah, you know, like if you're in an office place and you have to do some bonding, team bonding, and you have to go and play some sports, or you have to go and do kind of interpretive dance together, and everybody is smiling and they're saying what an incredible time they're having. I'm always the person stood outside of that circle thinking I would rather be anywhere else in the world than here.
But what makes it enforced fun?
Because
everything
you can't
needs
get
to
out
be...
of it.
Oh, okay.
You have to do it. It's like also when your friends
You're
have
forced
games
to
nights
participate, basically.
at their houses, and they say, "Come over and we'll have something, a little bit to eat, and then we're going to play board games." No.
emphasis on the board.
Oh, absolutely bored.
Yeah.
Completely bored.
I mean, I think you guys need some new friends. You should hang out with me
I
and
think we
Claire
have
more,
some
'cause,
really...
You know,
yeah.
I don't remember us doing any games nights. We just drink.
I'd say, do you know
When
what?
we get together,
I will
we
sign
just
up
drink.
for that in a heartbeat. Eating, drinking is all good. When they pull out Monopoly and they start putting people into teams, and also the concept of putting people into teams, I always end up with someone who I really don't like, and they're really smiling and saying,
Having a great
the
time.
best night ever. And I'm like, really isn't? Anything fun-wise that I don't really want to be an active participant of can go down the drain.
I mean, being forced to have fun is a bit of a... You know,
It's the
It kind of
antithesis of
defeats the
fun.
point. Yeah, it
You know,
defeats the
fun
point,
is
doesn't
that
it?
you're enjoying yourself.
When it comes to work, though, and having to do those team bonding things, I'm right there with you. You know what I would like to introduce into the workplace is the concept of Big Brother, where you get to vote people off.
Absolutely.
That you
Oh,
don't
that'd be
like.
amazing.
And
Does that
Matthew
mean they
could do
actually
it.
get sacked? Does that mean you
Yeah.
actually just completely vote them out the business? Or...
You
Vote them
know,
off.
you could do it on a Monday afternoon, Matthew, when they're talking about
Oh,
football.
that'd be
You know, if it's really
amazing.
annoying you. I love that. I think that's a really good idea. That's a kind of enforced fun that I will sign up to. But yeah, anything where you just have to pretend that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And it would be detrimental to you if you don't pretend to enjoy yourself. So in the
Yes.
office place, you know, obviously if you're the only person at that bonding session who looks miserable, then you're going to be voted off the Big Brother house.
You are. You're stuffed.
And also with your friends as well, with these games nights. And I have a friend who every year says, right, it's my birthday, we're going to go to the park and we're going to play rounders and we're going to do this and we're going to do... And it sounds brilliant. And then it's raining or it's cold or you've been stung by a bee or you've stepped in some dog mud or whatever it is. And you just want to say, you know what, I'm really not enjoying this. I'm going to go to the pub on my own and cry. And when you're done, come and join me. And then you'll see me having fun, you know.
And I'll get around in while I'm waiting for you.
And I'll drink them all before you get there. And then you will see the fun side of me. It is the biggest I think it's the biggest bugbear I've ever had. And it really has been in the last 5 or 6 years. Everybody seems to want to have this communal, we're all having fun, and isn't life brilliant?
Do you know, after this episode goes live, you're not getting invited to any more of these
Do you know what that is? That is precisely why I've done this. Friends, all of my friends who are listening to this is an impassioned plea. Leave me out of it. Don't invite me. Don't send me a Facebook invite or anything like that. I won't be offended. I'm actually just going to say no now. I'm not even going to say I'm interested. I'm going to say I'm not going, and then I'm going to comment on it and say this is enforced fun. You can all jog on. That's it. Done.
Like you've got no friends left now. You might be forced to hang out with us too now.
Yeah, that's it.
No one else.
I'm going to have my own enforced fun trying to find a new friendship base.
God, I don't know.
I don't know what to choose. Can we do a dual flush?
I think we should.
I think we need to do
Double
a
flush.
double flush.
Oh.
Because I think they were both
Flush.
really
Oh, we're loving
worthy.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really,
go.
really
Royal
worthy.
flush.
So here we go. You ready?
Flush.
There we go.
Yes, that's right.
All
Bye.
your friends are going down the toilet.
Yeah.
Foosball down the
The
drain.
foosball, intervals, the whole thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think that's our first double flush, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, Phil, honoured.
First
Thank
number
you.
one
Setting
flush
a
of the
new trend.
season. It might be the only one, you never know.
Yeah.
We might have to have a leaderboard of flushes.
I literally couldn't choose.
A fantasy double flush board.
We might have to
Let's do
invent
it.
that.
Let's do it.
Okay, next on the list.
Okay, I'm going to go. So for me, it is when you are travelling, and it is people that don't have spatial awareness. It is the people, and it's just those people that will stop, especially when you're going around on the tube. You know, you've got places to be, and it's the people that will just stop dead centre. It's the people that hold hands. And it's busy, and I find it my pet peeve, because actually if you witness me in these places, in these crowded London streets, or actually in any city streets, I act like I'm Spider-Man. My hands are flapping, I'm sort of dodging out of the way, you know, I'm really conscious, you know, I just, you know, I want to get to A to B, but I don't want to block anyone's way. And I just think, who are these people that don't have that spatial awareness?
Oh my god, that is so true, because I have walked down the street with you and you are exactly
We might have to go for a walk after this, actually,
Yeah.
just because I'm intrigued.
We're gonna go do some boomerangs.
Dodging people.
It's particularly bad in London. It really
It
is.
is.
The whole holding hands thing and taking up the whole of the pavement.
Yeah.
We get it, you're in love. But you know what? I've got to get to Tesco's. They close in 5 minutes and I have no milk. I agree with that.
Do you find that tourists also are kind of those weird walkers? You know, I find they like walk and then they stop because they want to take a photo.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
just out of the blue, and you've got to get to work, right? So
Yes.
you're not kind of strolling anyway. So you find all these people like dead stopping, and then if they've got a group of family members or some other friends with them, then you know this succession of people suddenly stop, and
Yeah.
you're like, "What's happening?" There's a gathering.
Oh, I've bumped into so many people in my time.
And it's a lovely advert for our country, isn't it? When a tourist stops and you say, "Get out of the way! Come on, move! Welcome to London."
We love you. We love having you here. Yeah, come
That was
back.
actually very polite, because I don't think people would normally be that polite.
No, I mean mine would be more like get the fuck out of my way. It would be more like what I would
So
say.
you may not be aware, but Eve has terrible transport rage.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Terrible rage.
Extreme.
Yeah.
You know, I get physical and I swear a lot, and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? Like I do this on a regular basis on trains, on buses. And even walking down the road, you know, rush hour, you're busy, you're trying to get to work, you're trying to get home, whatever it is. And you've got these people that can't walk properly, that can't get on trains
with a
properly.
backpack.
Oh,
The
backpacks. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's another one.
I
Let's add in the backpacks.
when the tube door opens and someone steps on with a backpack, I hate them immediately. Even if they come nowhere near me,
Yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah.
And I want
Yeah.
them to know that I hate them.
Yeah.
So
But, you know,
We've
you're
all
very good.
pushed the backpacks, haven't we?
You're very good. You just hate them. You know, I'm the kind of person that would grab someone from the backpack
What do you mean,
and
kind
yank
of?
them back out the train and be like, get your fucking backpack off.
Done that before, though.
I have done that. I've grabbed people by their hoods that have pushed in front of me to get on the train. I'm like, do I look like I'm just queuing here for fun?
Yeah.
You know, I'm clearly waiting in a queue. Get to the back. You know, what the fuck? Like, I have grabbed people's
Oh,
hoods
yes.
Or people
and
get to
drag them back off
the top
train.
of the escalator.
Oh, and then
just
they
stop.
stop.
They don't know where they're going, so they think it's a good idea that 20 people behind them are going to push into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
drives
the
me wild.
funniest thing I ever saw on an escalator was there was somebody going up and they clearly had a very large, oversized suitcase.
Yeah.
And it was very, very heavy. And they got to the bottom
Oh, no.
and they were unable to lift it up. And everyone is
Pile up.
backing up behind. And they're all grunting and groaning and yelling at this person, and you can see they're desperately trying to lift this suitcase off. Eventually, she got the suitcase
Yeah.
off, but no one helped her.
I mean, that.
Why
that,
should they?
Oh,
Oh, right!
Anticipate the end of that escalator and lift accordingly. It's as simple as that.
You can see it coming. Right?
It's not a surprise.
It's all about the timing.
it is.
Like most things. But yeah, you can see it coming. Lift your suitcase up and walk out.
So I've got a special announcement actually to make to all these people on the Jubilee Line platform at Canary Wharf Station, the ones going west back into central London. So there seems to be a group of people, quite a large group of people actually. I don't know whether it's because they're travelling really far down the Jubilee Line, but a bunch of people pack on, and then there's about 10-20 people who just stand there. They don't move out the way so other people who want to get on the train can get on, because the train's actually semi-empty, but what's happened is all the seats are taken. So these people who perhaps are travelling, 20 stops down the line want to wait for the next train, which is in a minute's time. However, I only have one stop to go. So I'm happy standing up, and the train is empty. It's not packed.
Yep.
But they just stand in the way. And then you're like,
They
if you're
decide-
not getting on the train, step to the side for fuck's sakes. Like, why are you in my way? Get out of my fucking way. So those people, please get out of the fucking way.
Yeah, move.
Should you decide that train is not for you, don't make the same decision for everyone behind you.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a slogan.
It
We
is.
should send it to TFL.
We should.
It should be a big poster.
But I'm
So going back to Matthew's walking down the street, I was I can't remember where I was. I was walking down the street with a few people, and there was these young, late teenage girls, I don't know, like 18, 19, trying to get past us, and there was a few. We were walking past a building site, so there was some scaffolding up, and they were struggling to get past, and one of them ended up pushing, and I went, I think you'll find the word is excuse me. And she sort of looked and went, oh, I'm really sorry. So I felt a bit bad getting cross at her. But
well, you have to educate people, don't
Yeah.
you? So,
Because I think there is like the flip side to your peeve is the very dedicated walkers who decide that nobody in their way is important and just push you out of the way. I do that kind of excuse me whenever anyone does that to me. I mean, I like to get somewhere, but yeah, the really I think Matthew, you might be one of these people, and we might fall out. But the really dedicated people that just no one else is going to get in their way. They're also, I think it's like street etiquette.
Yeah.
Just be aware of the people around you and.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get somewhere, move out of their way. If someone's dawdling, push them out of the way. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I go around people. I'm a bit like you, even though I don't wave my arms around. I'm not quite Spider-Man, but I do walk relatively fast, especially if I'm focused, on getting somewhere. But I just do the car thing, we just weave in and out of traffic, basically. So I will dodge people. I don't think I've ever pushed anyone over or anything like that.
Yet.
I have a tendency, if there's a bunch of people next to each other and they're all mates and have taken over the whole pavement, and I've said excuse me and no one's listened to me, I will literally barge. Because I can't wait and I can't slow down. I will literally barge.
That's because you're like a little mouse. You're like, excuse me. If it was me, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my way now. And then watch.
I try and be nice.
It's like
I
watching
have
the
two different
sea
ends,
split.
right? I mean, really
I
nice.
feel like
or
the
not.
ocean splits. Like, thank you very much.
So when the kids were small and I had a pram, I have been known to ram people with the pram who don't get out of the way.
Yeah, that's entirely
You're one
entirely
of those.
excusable.
I am.
I hate people who
Angry
can't
mother,
control
angry
their
mummy.
prams.
Angry
No, I can control it very well.
It's a choice. I've sometimes found when I've done the whole trying to push, where there's a whole crowd taking up the whole of the pavement, and you try and push through it, you end up joining it, and there's that really awkward moment for 20 seconds where you're in the conversation. And
You're
like,
a part of the group.
yeah, no, I didn't watch EastEnders last night. I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Football? What?
the foosball? What is
Why are we
this?
talking about football?
I find people walking in airports really annoying too. You know, I
Oh,
think
what
especially at
way?
an airport because, you know, they've got all these bags, they don't look where they're going with their bag, they run over your foot, they like put it in front of you, you know, do
mean
crazy manoeuvres and you're like jumping over people's bags. You know, not only have you got to dodge them, but then you've got to dodge like the things that are trailing behind them basically.
Are you more irritated by the actual wheelie suitcases?
Yeah, but it's the fact that they don't really like look carefully though at
No.
where they're wheeling them. They just kind of like just literally like my arms back here. This thing is about 3 miles.
So
away.
I always, whenever I've got a wheelie suitcase, I'll always hold it and wheel it along next to me rather than
yeah,
pull
Oh,
it.
but you've got the posh
you
one.
got one of those posh
That's the posh
four-wheelers.
one.
Got the 4-wheeler.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you've got a 4x4. Some
I
people
don't
just
have
the
that. I
two.
don't have that.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
an off-road suitcase.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I've got the Range Rover of suitcases.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
Airports are one of
Chelsea
those.
tractor of wheel.
You
Yeah, I
know,
don't have that. I don't have that.
Now, airports are one of those funny things where you want them to be like the airports in the movies, where everyone has big hats, sunglasses, they all look like Joan Collins,
Suave,
and they're
yeah.
just really kind of meandering along, and everyone's smiling. Going to a real airport, it's like carnage.
And on films, they always look really well air conditioned.
Yep.
In real life, they're not.
They're not.
You sweat walking to your
It's
gate.
awful.
I sweat like profusely on airports.
And the gate is a good 20 minutes
Yes.
away, and you have someone dawdling in front of you
Yeah.
with their 2-wheeler.
Oh, great. That's probably me now.
You're one of those people.
I'm not the elites like Claire.
Oh, with the Chelsea tractor of suitcase.
Okay, next pet peeve.
For me, I think it's self-service checkouts.
Oh, just in like Tesco's or like food self-service checkouts.
Anywhere
Any
where
self-service.
where you have to do it yourself. Firstly, it's just a huge incentive to steal because you put one bottle of wine in and then the other one just falls in. And I don't need an incentive to steal. But secondly, we are fundamentally, human nature means we are all pretty useless at doing anything that isn't the thing we were going in to do.
Yeah.
So when I go to the supermarket, I go to buy some food. I don't go to then check it out and weigh it and find it on the little screen.
Oh,
and
I hate the
it
things
just-
you have to find.
Yeah, the fruit, isn't
and you
it?
can never find what you've got,
Yes.
and then you think, actually, I reckon it's probably the same. You know, this cheese twist is the same as a chocolate croissant,
done
so
that before.
I'm going to press
Yeah.
that. And then you have that awful anxiety that is that one person looking at you.
They're going to tell you,
thinking,
oh, that's cheap.
that's not a chocolate croissant, that's a cheese straw, you're going to jail. And then also it's just the fact that some people are more useless than you are, and so it takes them 20 minutes to check out 2 tins of beans and a tin of Vimto or whatever it is, and you are raging inside saying, get out of the way, I want to go home.
Yeah.
That and people arguing at the till
Oh, yes.
about paying for
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I don't like the self-service check-in, but I don't like it when you get more than one person in the queue, like you get a whole family queuing up
Yeah.
to just buy one thing
Yeah.
through the self-service, and it's probably like a tin of beans,
Yeah.
and you have 4 people
Yeah.
in the queue
Yeah.
just to buy one thing through the self-service.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
And they crowd around the thing and they all ask, is it Heinz, is it something else?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I went to a pub in Balham the other day, and that was a self-service wine.
What?
How does this
get
work?
behind
How
this
does that
idea.
work?
This
How
is
does that work?
So I walked up to the counter and I went, I'll have 2 glasses of rosé, please. And he went, well, this is what you have to do. And I looked at him and went, can you do it for me? So he did. But you have to buy this preloaded card. So you put 15 quid on it or whatever it is.
Oh, yes.
You take your preloaded card over, you go, there's a huge wall and a bank of wine, and you go over there and you decide what wine you want. You put in your preloaded card, you put your wine glass underneath the filter and it fills it up for you.
What the hell? I've
So it's
never
like
heard
a
of this.
vending machine for wine.
for wine.
Yeah.
See, I absolutely love that idea because at the beginning of the night you could go in and just top up your card and never have to be served again.
Yeah.
Don't have to.
There is
queue
that,
back.
but when he told me I thought it's been a long day. I don't know what
This
you're talking
seems
about.
complicated.
I
yeah.
does sound a little bit
I
complex.
just want a glass glass of wine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like, can you do it for me, please? He's like, yeah. I said, please give me an example of how this works. So he did.
Yeah.
And after a couple of glasses of wine, I would revert to a kid, and when they used to have them in the cinemas, and I'd have a little bit of Fanta, a bit of Coke.
Like a cocktail of wine.
I'd create a new
Oh.
grape. At 10 p.m. on a Friday evening, it would be kind of bright green, and I'd be walking around the pub saying, "You should try this, Chateau de Rackham."
Yeah, I don't know about self-service checkouts. I don't think they're that bad. Because, on the weekend, when there's like all these people with like 15 trolleys, buying their monthly shop or something, and, we're like a small household and we don't really need that much stuff. For me, the self-service actually, like, it's a faster way of getting through. As long as there's no, like you said, 15 people queuing around one, tin of baked beans.
Or you don't have any of my children with you consistently picking up the things that they want to eat and then they can't, and then it's going, register.
The worst phrase ever known to humankind is unexpected item in the bagging.
And it's the waiting because your light's flashing.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to stand there really awkwardly.
Saying, "I'm not stealing anything. I promise you."
Still, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm quite convinced. I used to work as a checkout assistant 1,000 years ago in Sainsbury's. And I have to say, it was one of the worst jobs I've ever done in my life.
I can imagine.
It is so incredibly boring. Like, you honestly, genuinely can feel your brain cells dying. It's a bit like smoking pot, There's no real difference, The outcome is the same. You lose your mind slightly. And that's why a lot of checkout assistants, you see them talking to people, like, desperately. They want to be your friend. And you think, why are you talking to me? I'm just here to buy my bloody bread. Like, I really don't care. But it's actually because they're desperate to, like, just have anything, stimulating. Because it is an awfully
miss that.
boring.
I love a chat. I'm a chatter at the till.
I miss having a good
it.
conversation with someone as they're scanning my goods.
So I don't know. I feel like all these people that could possibly be zombies are being saved, by having more self-checkout, and then we don't need as many people in checkouts, because it is really, really terrible. And believe me, even as a checkout assistant, you sometimes don't know what the fuck those vegetables and fruit are. Inevitably someone picks up something you have never seen before, and you're expected to find the code for it and tap it in and whatever and get the price and weigh it, and you're like, what is this? I don't know. And you go through the same emotions, except normally, at least that's a cheese twist,
Yeah, that's true.
If you're working at the checkout, you're like, it looks like a cheese twist, but it might be something else. I got no fucking clue. No one's ever bought this before. And then you look at the person, you're like, why are you buying this shit? Like, no one buys this. What the hell is this called?
So you're judging them at the same time.
Yeah, very judgy. Wow.
And at the same time, you want to be their friend because you haven't spoken to another human being in about 16 hours. So you're like, oh, so how was your day? Even though you're buying crap food no one's ever heard of before.
So I used to work in a fruit and veggie stall after school. I think I was like 14, 13. Grown men and women would come into that store, ask me what some of the things were, which I didn't know, and then proceed to ask me how to cook them. I'm 13. I am 13 years old. I don't know how to cook this.
Yeah. But
Did you lie? And just say,
Most of the time,
boil it for 20 minutes.
Roast it.
try and see what happens.
Just put it in the oven, it'll be fine.
I don't know. Mash it. It's like I was 13 years old. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I was like, I think I was 15 or 14, 15 when I worked as a checkout assistant. I don't remember anyone asking me how to cook anything, but I know a couple of times I gave up on the fruit because I was like, I don't know what the fuck this shit is. And I actually said to the person, do you know what this is called? And to my amazement, quite a lot of people go, I don't know what it's called. And you're like, why the fuck are you buying it? Why are you buying this? Do you even know what to do with it? Is it even a fruit or a vegetable? What is this?
Mystery dinner tonight, kids.
Okay, so are we ready to vote?
We are.
Go on then, what's your vote?
My vote is Matthew and his spatial awareness
Yes.
peeve.
I think I'm going to agree because like I said, I don't know about checkout. So there you go, Matthew. Off you
Yes,
go.
I'm very happy.
That's a very long flush. I find the second time round it seems to take longer to flush. Yeah, I don't know why.
Bigger crap.
And unfortunately, in the case of the checkouts, the self-checkout,
Oh,
fail.
sorry, Ray.
Sorry about that.
You're stuck with
Never
them.
mind.
They're here to haunt you forever.
So it's time for Twist of the Fate. So who wants to go first, you or me? Are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
Okay.
I actually have two and I can't decide which one I hate more.
You don't sound ready.
But they're so equal.
My pet peeve is people when I say, "Are you ready?"
Oh,
They say yes,
God, they're so annoying.
Flush it.
Go on then.
So I think I'm going to go with my second one, which is people who chew gum really loudly. So disgusting. Surely you can hear it.
Is it just gum though? Because I feel like you
Or
got.
Just
Yeah, I
eating
really
food loudly.
don't like
Chomping.
bad table manners. So I have a real problem with bad table manners. So people who just eat food incredibly loudly.
I don't like that.
There's a term for it, clacking.
Is that
Oh,
what
is
it
that
Yeah.
what it's
Oh.
Clack
Oh,
your
I
food.
like,
Oh, I've not
I
heard
like
that.
that.
Clackers.
Because I remember I can't remember where we were. We were out with friends, and one of our friends was eating really loudly. And I said to him, "Are you enjoying that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am. It's really nice." I went, "Well, it certainly sounds like it."
Sounds
He
delicious.
didn't quite know what to do, so he did tone it down a little bit. There's just no need.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
no
Yeah.
need for the over-exaggerated eating or the clacking.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned something new.
Clacking of your
Yeah.
food.
I don't like the
Yeah,
clacking
it's
either.
disgusting.
It is quite disgusting. But I
Yeah.
think you're particularly sensitive to any kind of loud noise, like people's phone.
You know what? I'm not
phone
gonna lie.
buttons.
Oh, it's all going to come out now.
Oh no! So this right.
Let's get
Now
to
it
the
comes
real
out,
truth.
yeah.
Let's get to the real truth, Claire.
Let's get it out, Claire.
So how many years ago?
15 maybe?
15 years ago, Eve used to be my boss, and we worked for a little property company, and we were in the marketing team, and behind us sat the sales team, and there was a sales chap there who
She's lost for words.
I'm not going to say his name because I don't
No.
I don't want that would be mean.
But he knows who he is.
I feel like I tormented him and terrorised him because he really didn't do anything wrong. He just existed, and his existence annoyed me immensely.
To be honest, even I'm terrorised and tormented 15 years later, let alone him.
So the poor guy, and it was so this was when Nokia phones, right?
Yeah.
And phone beeps. So he would be sending his text messages, beep, 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 and it would just go on and on and on. And he would sit directly behind me like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're sitting there." And I used to say to him, "You know, you can turn the phone beeps off." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. Beep, 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 beep,
That
beep,
would
beep."
drive me wild.
And I was like, "I'm going to fucking kill this guy."
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally has to die. And then he had really, really long legs. So he would push his chair out and cross his legs, and his chair would back up right against my chair. So when I wanted to get out, I was trapped in my desk because I couldn't get out. So I coined the phrase, "You need to be chair aware."
Chair aware.
Oh, I like it.
And I used to get violently angry, and Eve, see how she's cracking up laughing now? She would just literally be laughing all the time at me because I would just get so cross at him.
Yep.
I couldn't
I
help
could
it. So
sometimes see Claire with her eyes, like her pupils dilated,
Yep.
her
Steam
eyes
coming out of
massive,
the ears.
shaking, and I'd be like, what is happening? What has he done now?
He was
I
playing
can hear
Snake.
him breathe. I was like,
Can you just stop breathing, please?
this poor guy, and I'm pretty. Didn't he say to you one day, "I don't think Claire likes me"?
You think?
This poor chap, and like 15 years on, and he still annoys me. To this day, I still think of him and go, "Oh,
Ugh.
those bloody phone.
I mean, every
That
2-3
fucking
weeks
chair.
he
Just
comes
smacked
up.
his Nokia.
You know, every 2-3 weeks he comes up in conversation somehow. So you can
I
tell.
mean, what an
like,
indelible print he's made on your psyche. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my god, it used to drive me up the wall, this consistent beeping
Yeah.
all the time. I think that's what kicked it off. Was the beeping.
your
Yeah.
hate of clucking and every other sound.
It was born from the beat.
It came from the beeps, and then it just went to him being completely. He just was not chair aware.
Wow.
And then, so on purpose, I would want to get out of my chair, so I would be like, boom,
Bash him
with my
over.
chair. So I feel sorry for him because I probably was quite awful.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were. You
Yeah.
frightened me, to be honest. I was like, I think she's losing it again. She started shaking. What do I do?
So I don't want to put him down the loo, but definitely clacking. The clacking? Is it the clacking?
Clacking.
Clacking.
Food.
Noisy eaters.
Yeah.
Noisy eaters.
Definitely.
Okay, so my pet peeve. Oh God, so many. I could be here all year. Honestly. I've got enough material for about 28 seasons, to be honest with you. But I'm going to stick with the airport theme and the walking, the funny walking. Except I'm going to say those people that kind of push to get onto an aeroplane, and you're kind of like, listen, this is not a bus or a train. It's not moving anywhere until we are all in. There is really no requirement and infringing your personal space. You know, they're like right up against you and you can feel them breathing, like on the back of your neck. And you're like, why are you so close? There's like 200 people trying to get on. We're all in a nice orderly queue. Like, there is more than enough space for you to leave like a human body's worth of space between me and yourself. There is really no requirement for there to be like paper thin space between you and me.
Unless you're doing the tango.
Exactly. So I hate those people, and I find that I also get them in queues at airports, you know, to check in and stuff like that. Again, like, why are we checking in like this? The woman is seeing someone else at the desk. When that person leaves, I'm going to move forward, and then you can move into my position. Whether you are like, you know, 2 breaths away from me or a foot away from me actually makes this process no faster. So I just don't understand that kind of behaviour. I find it really weird. I feel like my personal space is invaded, and I just think, like, where are we going? Like, calm the fuck down, people. It's an aeroplane.
It's not like the doors are going to close,
Yeah.
or she's going to
you're not getting on, so
Exactly.
you missed the spot.
But you
flight's
generally
going on.
have assigned seats anyway, so
I just don't understand.
It's more
that.
about the overhead compartments.
It is. That's what everyone is rushing about because they're so nervous that they're not going to be able to put
I
it on there.
understand those people that want to get on first. Some people just want to get on first. They want to know where maybe they have a bit of flying anxiety or whatever. But what I don't understand, like I said, is the pushing and the shoving. It's like, okay, get in the queue. I maybe don't want to get in the queue, or I'm happy to get in the back of the queue.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the front, get to the front, stand in the queue, leave a bit of the space, next person stand in the queue. It's like, I feel like I have to teach people how to actually queue.
I think I have a
You know,
solution
why
for
are we like all like touching against each other? We are not going to get on the plane any quicker. You know, like the process is as so. So you are not moving anywhere any faster by doing that.
I have a solution for you, mate.
So when you can wear something.
Get a pram, you know.
Your app, what kind
Yes.
of noises does it make?
Oh, yeah.
Let the toilet humour
See how
seep
far
through.
back they move.
Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
That would
Yeah,
it'll part the
that
ways.
might work. That might work. So that's basically my pet peeve. I just think, why are we touching each other?
Yeah,
There's just no need for this touching.
the
Thank
doors
you.
are not going to shut.
The plane's not moving. The doors are not shutting. You know.
We can all get on.
Yeah, exactly. So power is in your hands,
Ooh.
gents. So who goes in?
touching or clucking.
Touching or plugging?
Oh, okay, I'm going to go with clucking.
Yeah, same here. Loud, noisy eating.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So there you go, Claire, winner.
We all know secretly who's getting flushed though, don't we?
It's your poor colleague.
Yeah.
If you're listening, we love you.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't.
He's too busy beeping.
He's still playing with his Nokia.
And unfortunately, those people who like to touch up in queues,
Or
But yes, I am definitely going to be making that sound effect next time.
I think that would be the best. I bet people would actually back off.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I might try that actually. Try that.
Or then turn to them and say, "Was that you?"
No, just say, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
Well, they do have to go on a flight with them for maybe like 7 hours.
Yeah.
And you might be sitting next to them, you never know.
You'll find your
No, they'll move because they don't want to be next to the party girl.
Empty seat next to me.
Win-win.
I can just be like, "Oh, sorry, I had beans for breakfast."
So the other day so at work is on the 8th floor, so we have to catch a lift up.
Yeah.
And I was in the lift, and a guy walks in, and he just walks straight in, and he faces everybody.
What, for the whole journey?
The whole journey.
ride.
He
I
walked
mean,
in.
for that 30 seconds,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah.
But he
And
didn't
it was-
turn
No.
to face the door.
No.
Oh, no, that's weird.
Were you all just staring at him?
Did everyone else turn?
Yeah, you did not look at each
Everyone
other.
was just sort of looking at him going, okay. And I wanted to laugh because I thought it was really funny.
It's a
But
choice.
he just faced everybody, and I just thought that was really weird.
That really is.
That?
I would have
That
then
is quite
turned to the wall.
Well, the other day though, I got on the lift and
In or on?
in the lift.
In the lift.
And there was quite a lot of us. And the way I got in, face forward as you would rather than backwards, and then everyone just jumped in, so I couldn't turn. Actually, I went on and everyone else is like, and I can see them from the mirror, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You related to
alright.
that guy.
I mean, that could be a thing, like with the whole etiquette thing, backing into a lift.
Yeah.
Well, etiquette in a lift should be not standing in front of the panel, so
Yeah.
you can't press your floor.
Yes.
I kind of do that though. I run in and then go straight to the panel and pick my
I do
floor.
that too, but I ask
Yeah.
Move
people.
away, though.
No, I stand right there,
And
like in
protected.
the corner. So if anything should happen, I could be first out.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting.
I'm not talking about like big disaster movie type things, but just like if I need to go to the loo before I get to the floor I've chosen, I can get out. That's
unique.
I will
That's
admit.
I sometimes do that.
I will
No,
admit
I
to
don't
that.
think about it too
Stand
much,
in
but
front
I
of the
do.
panel. So
Yeah.
when
I don't-
you
I mean, I don't-
walk in, you
Sorry,
can't
everybody else.
press
No,
I
I
don't-
actually say like which floor. I do ask,
Yeah.
and then I press buttons for people.
and I love doing
like
that.
a lift
You want to be a lift, you
employee.
guys want to be lift operators, don't you?
Bellhop.
You want to be a bellhop, don't you?
But yeah, no, but I kind of tuck myself in so people can choose their floors, but I like to be near to the panel. That's a thing of mine.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
I just can't bear it when people are standing in front of the panel. I'm like,
I mean,
why are
I
you doing
have to
this?
stand on that side of the lift if the lift is glass, like in your office.
Yeah, no.
Because
Oh, I love the glass.
I
No, I
get
don't.
That's my
vertigo,
favourite.
and I don't like going
No, I don't
up,
like it.
like moving in something that's just full of glass, and I can see the ground go. I
That's
literally,
nasty,
I
that
get,
one.
I get like dizzy, and I'll genuinely just fall on the floor or sit down and start crying, one or the other. So if I go into a lift and I see all glass, I do tend to stand on that side and face away from the glass. So I will be really close to the door like this because I can't handle the glass concept.
Yeah, I don't like the glass in the.
Oh, I love it. I look at how
No.
I face that glass.
Are you like one of those
I'm like, oh,
face
I
pressed
start
up
looking
against
up,
the
watching
glass?
everybody.
Singing to the world.
Yeah.
A beautiful morning.
I will actually stay if I can see that the glass lift is coming. I will stay and wait for that one.
I tell you what, you need to catch the lift with me every time because that fucker comes every single time I need to catch the lift. It's always that one. So if you like it so much, you need to stand with me.
But our lifts are actually probably a pet peeve.
Why?
It can actually take you. Sometimes I get to the office and I'm like, oh, it's great. It's like 2 minutes to 9. Like,
45 minutes
yeah,
later
yeah,
in the
like-
office.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just a lot of
Yeah.
traffic.
And it's
basically
everyone, and
going
obviously
on.
we have to do. I have to do it when you get there, and you suddenly see that it's closing, and you just like we run into the lift to stop it
Yeah.
because you can actually then wait for another 10 minutes because we have loads of people. We don't have the facilities, unfortunately, like the rest of the people do. They have cafes on different floors, all the stuff that we can't use. So people are using the lifts all the time,
Yeah.
and occasionally it's when they use it to go one floor as well.
You should pack a lunch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one unless you
It can take
have
like
a
10
physical
minutes.
ailment, one floor lifters do.
Yeah.
That is That is annoying.
And have you,
One floor lifter's going down.
Yeah.
Those people I really judge.
Yeah.
And I tut. And I sigh. And I go
Yeah.
as they get out. And I think, I really hope you heard that.
Yeah.
Tutting
yeah.
is a really big British thing, isn't it?
It really is.
yes.
Yeah, it's ingrained in our psyche
I don't
to
know if I
tut.
do that actually. I'm trying to think.
No,
I
you
don't
just
think I do.
violently swear.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's one or the other, really. You either tut or you violently swear.
Yeah.
I usually say something incredibly sarcastic and then hope that the person is not you. I just hope I get a tut.
Yeah, just
Punch
get
in
a
the
tut.
face
That's
if it
fine.
was me. Can you imagine on the train? Oh my god, can you imagine me and Claire on the train? I get on, she gets on, she's like, excuse me. I'll be like, what the fuck? What are you talking
Who are you
about?
talking to?
Someone's eating loudly in the corner, and then all hell breaks loose.
And then Eve's standing there going, it's me.
Oh god, that sounds like a nightmare train.
And there's all these people with bags.
Stopping as the doors open.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of what happened to me yesterday, though.
What
The-
happened?
So on the Jubilee line, the train didn't come for like 15 minutes on a Sunday.
That's a long time.
That's a disaster waiting to happen. And we got on, it was really crowded, and some lady thought, oh yeah, I can squeeze myself. And I was literally the last person that could possibly get in, but she squeezed herself. And oh my god, I cannot express how annoying she was. She had nothing in her mouth, but all I could hear was... At one point I thought she's chewing, but she wasn't.
She would actually have to die.
She literally was just
Chewing the
making
cud.
this noise. And on top of that,
She
her
had a suitcase.
entire
And she queued up badly. and she was touching you.
front was touching my entire back.
Yeah.
Like, I was so uncomfortable. I felt so violated. And then that,
You should have
like,
just
for
elbowed her.
freaking 5 stops, I was like,
Human
I can't.
sandwich.
Yeah.
I can't.
You should have just elbowed her. Do you know what I've done once? Someone did that to me. At the next stop, when the train stopped, I bent over, got quite a large arse, obviously, and as I bent over, she obviously popped out and was like, oops, sorry, and all the doors closed.
That is brilliant.
Oh my god, I need to try that.
I'm going to do that.
That
Bend
sounds
over,
fun.
because your butt will just push them out, you know, it's your whole body weight. So.
I have been that lady, Osma, although I don't do that. But I was getting on the train and I was the last one on, and then this lady said to me, oh, God. And I could hear a sign. I went, well, it is public transport. You can catch an Uber. She never said anything after that.
Well, I had the body touching this morning as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know, I feel like I'm one of those people that if it looks crowded and in the morning the train comes every minute, like yesterday, I get it, it was long.
Extreme, yeah.
But every minute, you don't need to like
Just wait for the
physically
next one.
touch
Yeah.
that person. And because I'm trying to keep a distance between the person in front of me, I've got that distance at the front. But because she's like literally skin on skin with me, I'm trying to go like forward, but every time I budge forward, she comes with me. And it's just like
Like a truck
I
trailer.
need that like
Yeah.
1
And it's-
millimetre of space between you and me.
It's
And
never
you're not
good
even
in the
giving
summer
me that.
months, is it?
No,
as
it's
well?
just like a
no.
sweaty human
Sweaty
sandwich.
and-
Yeah.
oh.
Some
Never
people
good.
just don't have any sense, though. You know, like I've had someone, this woman, she pushed in front of me to get on the escalator on the way out the train station, and I was a bit like, you know, when you're like, whoa, okay, fine, you're in a hurry, and then by the time I got to the gates, she was also there, like she hadn't gotten much further.
Did
So
you give
I-
her a round of applause?
So I looked at her, I was like giving her a dirty look and pressed my thing, came out the gates, somehow ended up coming out before her because I think she was having a problem. And then she comes out the gates and then she pushes in front of me at the next escalator, and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you're not getting anywhere any faster. And then I walk across the road to Heron Keys or whatever it's called, and she's like running in front of me and like behaving like a Looney Tunes. I get to the platform and she's standing there, and I turn around and I went, you got here fast, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like, that really
I
made
love
a difference
that.
to your
It's the
day.
small
Like,
little wins of life.
Yeah,
That I just love that. Yeah.
don't understand.
Sitting there going, yes.
I won.
I strolled here. You sweated here
And yet we're still here.
at the same time. Thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Poopology, and please come back on Monday. And, well, and don't push me at the escalators or I'll kick your ass.